Hello, everyone. This is Mark, and I have made some videos about baseball board games, and now I have turned my attention for a little bit about football board games. And the board game that I focus most of my attention on is Sports Illustrated because that's the baseball game that I played when I was a kid. I also had Sports Illustrated Football, Pro Football, and another one called Bowl Bound, which I will talk to you a little bit about today because I've written a program that simulates the Sports Illustrated football game. So the football game is different than the baseball games because there's only team data. There's no individual player cards or individual player anything. It's all team wise. You pick your plays, one team against the other, and then you play the game that way. There's no I'm going to put in this quarterback and he's going to pass to this receiver. It's all about the team in this game. So the way the game works is you have a chart for each team, and then there's a priority chart which I will show you that tells you how to determine the results of each play. But here's the Patriots 1971 team chart, and what you do as the coach of the offense is you pick an offensive play. So you have 4 running plays you can pick from and 5 passing plays. You can see those across the top from line plunge over to sideline pass. And there's the regular 10 through 39 dice here that the offense uses and use for special situations. But then there's different dice for Sports Illustrated football. There's a red one and a green one, and you add those together and they go up to 1 through 5. And I'll show you the defense chart, how that works. But these are the plays, and you pick your play, and then you roll your dice, and it's 10 through 39, and you have a result here. And the defense does the same thing, and then you compare the 2 results to see what happened during play. So a running play also on this chart is B, breakaway, this column here on the right. If your running play results in a B, then you get to have a breakaway, and you could gain those number of yards, which are much higher than most results. So the breakaway is a good thing for the offense. Then if you do a pass play, you could have a QT, which stands for quarterback trapped. And they use this column here on the very right, which tells you what happened to the quarterback in the play. And a red number is a negative loss, and a green number is a gain. So the quarterback could scramble and gain yardage when he gets trapped, or he could lose yardage and get sacked on a red number. On the side, it shows you the numbers that you recover a fumble and what numbers you lose a fumble. And then down on the bottom, it tells you Sports Illustrated how they rate each play that this team has. So the Patriots line plunge is good, off tackle is good, end run is fair, and so on and so forth. So there's the offensive chart. Defensive chart looks like this. On the left side is the defense, on the right side is special teams. But here's where the dice for 1 through 5 come in. You pick your defensive play, and then the offense tells you what they played. And the defensive plays can be the standard defense or short yardage defense or spread, pass prevent short, pass prevent long, or blitz. So let's say I pick standard A, and let's say the other team picks an end run. So I would look right here. Standard under end run. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2 are white boxes. 3 is a green box with a 1 in it, and the other 2 are white boxes too. So you roll that dice, and the offense rolls their dice, and you both figure out what your result is, and then you compare them. But also over here is the kickoff, punt, interception, return, and field goal. For those things, when those happen during the game, you use that for your team. So now the very important chart is this one here that shows you which takes priority or how you determine the result. So if it's just a green box or a red box or a white box with no parentheses, you just add the 2 together. If the offense has a touchdown and the defense has a green or red or white box without parentheses, then the touchdown prevails. And the same for quarterback trap. Brown is incomplete. INT is interception. As you can see, the defense takes priority if they get a number that has parentheses or red or green, touchdown in parentheses, quarterback trap, incomplete, or interception. Those all take priority over anything the offense does except fumble or penalty. That they always take priority, fumble or penalty. So there's that. Also on this chart is onside kick, if you want to do that. If you roll a red number, then the receiving team recovers. Green number means the kicking team recovers, and then up here is the extra point. So all the extra points are good except for these numbers 16 through 20, which shows no good or some penalties. So that's that. Let me show you what the game looks like. And I have a game that's in progress. And you can see now that what else comes with the game that you buy in 1971 is a little plastic field. You can see the little green field there, and it comes with a little brown football marker and a little brown first down marker that you slide up and down on those tracks. Then it also comes up with this scoreboard here that had little wheels that you could turn to change the numbers. But in my game, I just overwrite where the number is supposed to go with an actual number, so that I can make it look kind of like you're really playing the game. So where I am in this game that I'm playing, I didn't want to have you watch the whole game to give you an idea how this works. So I am in the fourth quarter. You can see the 4 there. Uh, it's the Lions against the Cowboys. The Cowboys have the ball because there's a red box around their logo. The score is 34-10, so the Lions are way ahead in this game, which is unusual because the Cowboys were very good in 1971. There's 5 minutes, 10 seconds left. The Cowboys have the ball. The visiting team always goes to the left in my game, and the home team always goes to the right because that was easier programming rather than flip-flop every quarter. So I am in defense, so I get to pick one of those defensive plays. As you remember on my chart, I had A through F. I could do that, or I could do a timeout. Those are the choices that a defense can do. So I will pick the spread defense, which is a C. The Cowboys picked a screen pass, and you can see there's my spread defense against the screen pass. It's pretty good. It's 2 and -2 in parentheses, -4, -5, and 2 incomplete. So we'll roll the dice. So we roll the dice, and a 14 is rolled for offense, which you can see here is highlighted in the blue box. A 14 for the screen play of the Cowboys is an offensive 15-yard penalty, and I rolled a 3 for my defense, which is -5. So you have to roll the offensive dice again to see what the result is. This time I rolled a 20, which is a 1-yard gain on the offense chart, but I have a -5-yard loss on defense. So my choice as the defensive coach is a 15-yard offensive penalty or a loss of 4 yards on a play. I will pick the loss of 4 yards. So I push 1, and now we have 2nd down and 14, and the ball moved back to the 16-yard line. I'll go to the spread defense again, and this time he went with the end run, and again my defense is very good against the end run. So he got a 5-yard gain on a 34 roll, and I got a -1, so he got 4 yards. So he got the 4 yards back that he lost on the first time, and now it's 3rd and 10. I'm going to go with my spread defense again. He went with a medium pass. We rolled the dice. Okay, he rolled a 37, so his says 18-yard gain. I rolled a 1, which says 12-yard gain in parentheses, and the parentheses take priority over anything except the fumble or the penalty, as you remember from the priority chart. So the 12-yard gain takes priority. There's a 12-yard gain. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left. It's 1st and 10, so I'm going to go with a long pass prevent, which is E. And he went with a medium pass. So again, I picked good defense. So I'll roll the dice. He rolled a 23, which is incomplete, which is what it's going to be because my -1 has nothing to do with incomplete. Incomplete takes priority. So I'm going to go ahead with the spread defense again. This time he went with a long pass. We roll the dice. His result is 16, which is quarterback trap. My result is just a nothing box. So quarterback trap takes priority. So now we roll the quarterback trap for the Cowboys, and there it shows up there. And we roll a 20-30, which you can see is a red 13, which is -13. So now it's 3rd and 23. I will go ahead and do pass prevent long, which is E. He went with a long pass since he's a long way away from getting the first down. He gets another quarterback trap. He rolled a 21 this time. Here's the quarterback trap for the Cowboys again. This time he rolls a 12, which is a gain of 9. So Roger Staubach scrambled around and did not get sacked. He gained 9 yards, but still it's 4th and 14. The computer coach, I'll show how he makes his decisions when we're done with this little demonstration, but it depends a little bit on the game situation. So I'm going to go ahead and do a pass prevent long. He's going to go for it on 4th and 14. He went long pass. We roll the dice. He rolls a 19, which is a 22-yard gain, and the star means out of bounds. I rolled a 1, which is nothing, so it's going to be a 22-yard gain. Out of bounds means there's only a 10-second run off of the clock. Most regular plays are 30 seconds. out of bounds, penalties, and what else? Incompletes are 10 seconds. So I'll go with the spread defense. It's now 1st and 10. He went with the screen pass. He got 4-yard gain. I had -5, so it's a -1. Here's the 2-minute warning pops up. So we're under 2 minutes. And it goes back to 2 minutes because the clock stopped. 2nd and 11, I'll go with the spread defense again. He went with a short pass. He got incomplete, which takes priority over -2. So now we got 3rd and 11. I'll stick with my spread defense. He went long pass. He rolled a 35, which is a incomplete pass. Now he's 4th and 11. I'll go spread defense. He went long pass again. He got an incomplete pass on a 4th and 11, so that's going to turn the ball over to the Lions. The Lions are content with just running the clock out, so we'll just do some running plays. I'll do the off tackle. He did the spread defense. Got a penalty, 2-yard gain, -1. He decided, the computer coach decided to take the play result because it was -1. So now it's 2nd and 11. I'll do a line plunge. There is a 10-yard gain from the defense. Mine was nothing from the offense, but 10 is in parentheses, so that takes priority. So now it's 3rd and 1 with 30 seconds. Unless this play goes out of bounds, that'll be the end of the game because my computer coach doesn't have the logic of calling timeouts. So I do line plunge. I got a 2-yard loss. He got a 1-yard loss. It's a 3-yard loss, but it runs the clock out. And that's the end of the game. Lions 34, Cowboys 10. My program keeps stats. Since there's no individual players, all I can do is team stats. So for this game, let's just look at the Lions stats. Rushing 63 attempts for 205 yards. Only 6 pass attempts, 5 were completions for 23 yards. No passing touchdowns, interceptions, or turnovers, or penalties for the Lions. So they played a pretty clean game, a lot of running. Won the game 34-10. The Cowboys, on the other hand, had 4 turnovers. 1 was an interception. So they fumbled and lost it 3 times, and they threw an interception. So that helped the Lions score points, I'm sure. So that's the end of the game. Here's what it looks like, the main screen. I can look at the standings by doing this. There's 1971 and where each team is. And then I also track the stats like I told you. So I look at team stats, and there's the team stats. So I track how many points each team scores, how many they allowed, how many rushing attempts, yards, and so on. So that's that. If I wanted to start another game, I would just do, pick my teams, Buffalo and Miami. I put in here on the right some of the premier players of that team of 1971. You can see the Dolphins were they were in the Super Bowl but lost to the Cowboys. They won next 72 was the year they went undefeated. But here's their players. If you remember the undefeated team, this is the team. They had Greasy at shortstop, quarterback. Larry Zonka was one of their running backs. Paul Warfield was a great receiver for them, and Nick Bonacani was their middle linebacker. And there's some of the players on the Bills, including O.J. Simpson. So that's how that works. My game, you can either play against the computer and have the computer either manage or coach Buffalo or Miami, or you can have the computer coach both teams, or you can have the game play itself. Just boom, it'll pop up the end of the game and say what the results of the game were. I'm not done with that program of it, so I can't show you how that works. But what I can show you is where I am right now with computer coach logic. So the coach has to pick defensive plays and offensive plays and make penalty decisions. And what he does here is on defense, he will look at if it's a first down, second down, third down, short, fourth down, and how long it is. So third and short would be 1 to 3 yards. Medium would be 4 to 6 yards to go, and long would be 7 to 10 yards long. And then this is the percent of the times that it would pick those defenses. So if it's first down, it'll pick the standard defense 30% of the time. Short yardage 20, spread 20. So it randomly picks, a random number comes up 1 through 10, and it picks one of those defenses based on the random number. So that's how the coach does on defense. And you can see if it's, a fourth and long, he's going to pick pass prevent long most of the time. Pass prevent short a little bit, blitz a little bit. So it has some logic built in there. Here's the offense. What the offense does is it decides whether it wants to run or pass first. and then it decides which running play and which passing play it wants to do based on how good the running play is, based on Sports Illustrated's rating of each play for each team. So if it's first down, it's going to pick 75% of the time run, 25% of the time pass, and you can see how it moves down from second down, third down, fourth down. And you can see that when long yardage is needed, it'll pass more. When short yardage is needed, it'll run more. It also there has some logic on game situation. So if it's the first down and we're losing by 14 or more, it's going to pass 75% of the time. You can see that right here. If it's second down long, 14 or more, then it's going to pass more. If it's third down or fourth down with 10 yards or more, it will pick the medium pass or the long pass half the time. Going for it on fourth down, it does that some of the times. If the ball is between the two 40-yard lines and the team is behind, and there's 1 or 2 yards to go in the second half, it'll go for it. If it's in the opponent's territory in the fourth quarter and they're behind by 14, they'll go for it. If there's 8 minutes or left, and they're behind by 14, they go for it. 5 minutes behind by 4 or less, they go for it. So there's some logic on going for it on fourth down. But in 1971, teams did not go for it very often on fourth down. They punted it. They played kind of a field position game more than they do now. And then here's how I do. Whether I pick first, it decides whether it wants to do a running play or a passing play, and then it looks at the team's running plays and passing plays and how Sports Illustrated rates them. And let me remind you how that is done right down here. See, line plunge is good, off tackle is good, so on and so forth. So I have ratings from Sports Illustrated on each of their 9 plays. So I go back to here and I say, okay, I have 4 running plays to pick from, and one of them's excellent. 2 of them might be good, 1 might be fair, 1 might be poor. Who knows what it is? It's all different for each team. But if it's an excellent, 50% of the time it'll pick the excellent. If it's good, 35% of the time, and so on. So it weights these things out, and then it picks a random number and picks one of the 4 plays. But excellent plays get picked a lot more than poor plays, obviously, because that makes sense. And then the last thing the computer coach has to do is decide on fourth down. So here's how it does that. If it's deciding on a defensive penalty, which means the computer is coaching the offensive team, it will pick the penalty if the defensive penalty has the same or more yards than the play. It will pick the penalty if it's third down and the penalty does not make a first down, and all the other time it picks the play. And then there's logic for if the coach is the defensive coach and making a decision on offensive play or not. So if the play has 10 or more negative yards, it picks the play. If it's a 5-yard offensive penalty and the play has 2 or fewer yards, it picks the play. If the 5-yard penalty on third down and the play does not make first down, it picks the play. All else, it picks the penalty. So that seems to most of the time make sense on when it picks to play or the penalty. So that's how the coaching works. And if anyone has any comments on this, I'd be happy to hear it. If you even understand what I'm talking about, that is. So that'll be the end of this video. And with that, I will say have a nice day. And when I finish up program so that it can play games automatically and whole seasons automatically, I'll show you how this compares to the actual season of 1971, because that's kind of my number one interest of this is, both playing the game, but I kind of get bored of playing the game after a while, but also seeing how the game compares to real life. So that's what I like to do, and I will have another video when I'm done with the program. So have a nice day, and I'm signing off now.